What's up, everybody? My name is Sehatha. I am the Blind Seer, your all-purpose oracle, medium at large, prognosticator extraordinaire, and I am not good on camera. But this was the goal I set for myself when I started my page back in June, and even though I've been kind of putting it off for a few months because I'm nervous, I've got a couple of cigarettes, I've got a horn full of coffee. We are going to do this, finally. So this is going to be a little bit different than my weekly readings because whatever amount of work you think I put into those, I promise you it's more. And for the purposes of video, we're going to do something a little more fast-paced, a little streamlined, a little easier. I'm not really used to doing this out loud, or I've spent 8 months doing these in writing, so this is going to be a little rusty maybe, but bear with me. So what I'm going to do is I have this little 9-sided die, and I'm going to roll this, and then I'm going to take my book, and in here I have a little numerology chart I will show you, and each number has a letter that goes with her, well, a couple of letters, and if one of those letters is your initial, then this reading will be for you, and if not, maybe the next one will. And we'll do a couple of these that way and see how it goes. But first things first, we have to shuffle, and I wanted to showcase my shuffling ritual because it's a little different and you will not see anyone else doing this. I modeled my method after quantum mechanics and a lot of esoteric lore and years of research and practice, so it's something kind of unique. So we're going to use the cards to symbolically recreate the beginning of the universe. First, we start with chaos, which means we spread them out, we move them around, we make a big old mess and get them all shuffled together, randomized as much as possible, and then we collapse the waveform back down into its singular expression and polarize the deck. I like to use both hands for both parts and work in opposite directions, getting that good counter-rotating energy in there. And then, as I said, my methods are based on quantum mechanics, so a big function of quantum reality tunneling is the act of making a choice. And that's how we begin. If you have bought a reading from me, you'll already know this. We split the deck in half, and when you make a choice, the universe sort of reorients itself around that decision in order to facilitate. And by choosing half of the deck, we're essentially claiming the reading for our own and sort of rearranging the probabilities on a quantum level so that when we reveal the cards, it's something that actually is attuned to your energy as opposed to just some random cards that I'm trying to make sense out of. But since I can't make the choice for you, what I do every week with my weekly readings is I use my pendulum. So what we want here is whatever reading will be the most beneficial for my audience and for my business and for everyone involved. It looks like it's going to the left. And it's not the strongest response I've ever gotten, but a fairly clear indication of the left. Now, let's find out who this reading is for. And we have 6. So we'll get our little chart and we'll see what letters go with the number 6. 6 is F, O, or X. So if your name starts with an F, an O, or an X, this reading is for you, and if not, please patiently wait for the next one. So we're just going to do a quick 3-card, like my general weekly readings. We have 5 of Wands inverted. Sorry, I forget people like to look at stuff. It's not really an issue for me. The Star, also inverted again. And finally we have Eight of Wands. So, also inverted. Not a super positive reading for F, O, or X, but we'll see what we can do. So, the Five of Wands is the suit of fire, and the fifth sphere is the sphere of conflict and resolution. But this being inverted, it's sort of the lack of conflict or confrontation. So, something more enjoyable. So it's on a spiritual level, though, because fire is the suit of your spiritual energy and of the soul and of passion and inspiration and all of that. So maybe feeling a burst of creative energy, feeling a little exceptionally spiritual, is something's recently got you all charged up, and it's sort of the opposite of conflict, but at the same time we have the star inverted, so you're not really being guided in any direction. You don't have a clear sign as to where you are supposed to go with this newfound burst of energy. And the Eight of Wands shows that without direction, this energy is sort of gonna just taper off and be lost. That it needs some kind of emotional energy to grab onto, something to direct it, and it's going to have to be something that really speaks to your heart and to your soul as a person. So you make sure you use this energy before you lose it. Now, let's see. We'll do another one. Like I said, these are going to be quick. This is my first video. I'm not trying to get into anything really super heavy. We're just going to put these aside since we've already talked to the deck ahead of time and let it know we're doing several. And I'm going to have a cigarette because this is like my fourth take on this, and it's a little stressful. All right, let's figure out who the next reading's for. We've got, ooh, an 8. All right, let's find out who is an 8. 8 is H, Q, or Z. So this reading is for you if your name starts with an H, a Q, or a Z. And let's see what we got for you. We got the Lovers. Don't get excited, it doesn't mean what you think. The Seven of Pentacles. And finally we have the Hierophant inverted. This is one of my special cards. This one really, I resonate strongly with this one. So let's see what we have here. So the Lovers generally represents the coming together of energies. It's not a relationship romance type card like you would think on the surface. That's the Two of Cups. But the Lovers represents a union or a coming together of energies. So maybe a new business partnership, maybe a new friendship, maybe you've just encountered some new information and new ideas that you're trying to work around and integrate. And with the Seven of Pentacles, it looks like what you need to be focusing on right now is how to integrate this energy and how to work it into your life. Like incorporating this new ideology and sort of learning to live in the way that you feel you should, or feeling out this new partnership and setting boundaries and establishing a good working rapport. Whatever this energy that's brought in by the Lovers card, right now what you should be focusing on is just kind of making everything mesh. And finally we have the Hierophant inverted. So one thing that you need to look out for is do not close yourself off, don't isolate. Believe me, I know the tendency is strong and it's hard to resist, but just don't. It's not going to help anything. It's going to throw off all of this good that you've got started, and whether it's a friendship, a relationship, business, whatever, new ideologies, H, Q, or Z, got to stay open. Communicate, be present. Don't close yourself off. Don't get lost in your own head. The Hierophant is a hermit. He doesn't like to be bothered. He likes to do his own thing, and that's not conducive to this energy. So H, Q, or Z, you need to figure out how you're going to work things together and try not to close yourself off. Just keep it open. Alright, I know these are short, and I hope they're actually helpful. We're going to do maybe 1-2 more. I don't know. I haven't had a whole lot of luck with long videos. We're going to keep it short. I'll put these aside and see who our next reading is for. And we have a 2. Alright. So 2 is B, K, or T. So if your name starts with a B, a K, or a T, this one's for you. We have the King of Swords inverted. Need to have a look at it the right way. Then we have Justice, also inverted. Alright, so we got cut off there. I'm having some storage issues. Got it sorted out though, I think. I'm gonna splice this one. It's not gonna be clean, it's not gonna be pretty. It's my first video, so we're learning as we go. Let's finish up this reading. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So let's refresh. We got the King of Swords inverted, Justice inverted, and the Queen of Pentacles. So King of Swords inverted. Usually I go by the Crowley interpretation, but by context I'm feeling like this one's a little different than that. Normally the King of Swords would represent like the waning cycle of some sort of mental energy, but in this instance, considering the cards, I'm guessing that B, K, or T has recently been wronged by somewhat of a know-it-all. Somebody who's very arrogant, definitely male, a little full of themselves, and kind of a dick. And you have been wronged by this person, or maybe you've wronged them. I don't know. Justice isn't being done. The situation is imbalanced, and it's going to come to the female energy involved here, the Queen of Pentacles, to make this right. Somehow or another, whatever energy that this is describing, it's going to have to be resolved by you in the physical world, and you're going to have to put the work in. It's not something that's just going to resolve itself. It's going to require effort on your part. Alright, we'll do one more of these, and then I'll see how I can splice it together. I'm not super good at video editing or literally any part of this other than the actual tarot reading. So we'll try to do one more. We'll keep this relatively short, and hopefully the next video will go a little better. So we'll put these aside, we'll roll again, and figure out who we're doing this reading for. 0. How is there a 0? Okay, well, that's not on my chart, so that kind of threw me. Maybe this is a good place to stop, and I'll see if I can splice this together, and maybe we'll shoot another one in the next day or two. See how this one goes and what the reception is. Thank you for tuning in. Check me out on Facebook at Real Blind Seer, Instagram, Blind Seer Official, Blind Seer on YouTube, pretty much anywhere that you see Blind Seer with the word real or official, or just with my crazy dreadlocks somewhere, then it's me. And thank you all for your support and for following me for so long and for bearing with me through this incredibly awkward video. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe it was helpful, maybe not so much, but hopefully we do a little better next time. And until then, I will see you.